Alright, alright YouTube. Welcome back to your weekly upload of E3's Life. Alright, today we are going to talk about grit. Now, some of you may be asking, what is grit? And no, I don't mean grit as in gravel or grittiness or, when you pick up sand and you feel the grit or the grit of a sandpaper. I'm talking about grit as in courage and resolve and the strength of your character. Now, why do we need grit in life? Well, this is my opinion about grit, and this is why I think most people should need it. And some of you may know that you use it every day. So let's get into it. Alright, why do we need grit? Well, it's to get stuff done. Easy as that. Video's over. No, I'm joking. It's a little more involved than that. Grit is something that is the essence of life, I would say. I think that would be a reasonable thing to say because it encompasses courage, and courage itself is life because it takes courage and grit to get resolve and to get where we want to in life. For example, it takes courage to go to school, get an education, it takes courage to learn. It takes all this stuff. I feel like people nowadays kind of miss out on the point of that they use courage every day to get stuff done. Sometimes it feels like a chore, but you're using grit and courage. For example, when you go to the gym, some people love going to the gym. Other people, they love it some days, they hate it some day. They hate it some days. They hate it and love it, right? But I think on the days that where people hate going to the gym, that's where their grit comes in because they want the results. They want to get stronger, and that builds the strength of their character, which is in the definition of grit. And I think people take having grit for granted, right? Because some people, they have grit. They say that they're going to do these things. They say that, oh, I'm going to do this, get this going, build this, build that. Be creative, learn this new skill, learn that new skill, edit this video, do this and that, right? But they mentally, okay, not mentally, they speak that like they have grit or courage, but do they actually do it? No, I would say the people that do it, obviously, yes, they have do it, which is majority of YouTubers out there that are consistent. Keyword consistent. And that's because they have grit and courage. They want to get stuff done. They want to, do these things. People who wake up every day. Well, sometimes they don't want to go to their job, but they still do because they want to see that. They want to see results. They want to see the resolve. And I think grit and courage and wasting grit and wasting your grit or your courage can be tied into wasted talent. Now, wasted talent to me has played a very big role in my life, I've noticed. I've met a lot of people in my life that has loads and loads of talent. They're good at this sport, they're good at this thing, they're good at driving cars, they're good at building cars, they're good at building Legos, they're good at being creative, good at drawing, but they don't do it. They stop because they just don't have the grit. They don't have the courage. They're afraid of failure. They're afraid of judgment. They're afraid of this, that, or the other. They're afraid of the what if. Now, to me, as an outsider to these people, I see it as wasted talent to a degree. Now, obviously, if you have a big life event that changed, then yeah, it's kind of different. But I think, if you have the talent for something, then I think you should pursue it. And then I know some of you out there are thinking, well, isn't hard work, going to outwork talent? And I'm like, yes, I believe that. I believe that to a degree, but I believe people who also have talent and put in the hard work is what makes someone good at or great at something. I think both of those combined can lead to somewhere extraordinary. Now, I'm gonna take an NBA player, or let's say I'm becoming an NBA player, and so is my friend, right? No matter what, we're gonna make it to the NBA. Let's just say that, right? Those are our parameters. So me and my friend, we're, same height, same weight, same strength, same muscular build, same strength, right? Now, me, I have I have the hard work ethic. My friend, he has the talent, right? So we go about our lives, we both make it to the NBA. Who is going to last longer? My opinion, and this is my opinion, if my friend doesn't adopt the hard work and you have to put in the hours and put in the time to learn new things, most likely he will lose. Yeah, he may have all the talent in the world to get into the NBA, but the, he doesn't have the talent to keep himself there, to learn new things. So I think having a good work ethic, knowing your goal, this is a big part that plays into work ethic and hard work and persistence, is having a goal, trusting in yourself that you will get there no matter what. I think that is what makes up for people who have a lack of talent. Now, I throw talent around loosely. When I mean talent, I mean someone who is either could be slightly better than the average person at something, or way better than a person at the average person at something, right? Now, I say that everyone has talent to some degree. Everyone has a talent. Everyone has a skill, something they can do that they are good at. Now, some talents people do them, but does it get a lot of attention? No. Does that mean you should stop your talent or keep pursuing your talent? No. You should go because if that talent makes you happy, do what makes you happy and joyful. That's what I think. Now, let's circle back to, when some people have a good thing or have a great skill, and then, they use it for, I guess, 20, more years, and then they stop. Life hits them, and they don't use it again. Um, I think to me, that is possibly sad. It's deep. It's sad. It's sad to me because you have all this, you're good at this skill, you're good at doing this, you're good at building things, you're good at this video game, and you stop. Why? Why did you stop? Now, I'm speaking from experience and the people around me because I've seen this happen in real time. And seeing this happen in real time is hard to watch because when I see that, I think of myself and I think of if I become like that, I don't want to. I never want to become like that. I will, I say this now, and it could still happen to me. And I am coming to terms with that slowly, but at the same time, I'm young, and I do have the belief and the, you know, drive to do a lot of things. Now, I feel like most people my age have a lot of drive to do things, and they are consistent, probably for a good 6 months at a certain skill, and then afterwards they start falling off. I think the biggest thing that they fall off to is social media and the phones. Um, Now, I'm not going to get into that this video. Social media usage and how it's affecting us. That is for an entirely different video. I'm actually going to write that one down. So, social media affects people. Will be either next video's topics or the week after. We'll see. We'll see how I plan it. Sorry. Back to talent and grit. Now, throughout this video, I have kind of connected the relationship between grit, talent, and courage. Now, keep in mind, grit and courage are kind of the same thing, but I'm going to circle back to the beginning where I said grit is kind of the essence of life, to get stuff done. When you're young, stuff may seem scary to you, like social interactions, doing this. For me, for example, learning how to weld. It was scary at first, but that's because I didn't know. There's a lot of unknowns. But I had the grit, had the courage. I wanted to, I had the strength to do it, and I did it. Now, some people, they're afraid of weld, and I don't blame them because they grew up or they had a different environment to where maybe they weren't taught to have grit and courage. Maybe they were shot down at, doing this experience or learning this. Um, Now, I do want to preface by saying, as I get older, uh, these opinions will most likely change. I think I'll keep my same opinion about grit and how it's needed in life, and how some people have it, all people have it to a degree. Some people use it more, some people don't, and some people don't use it at all. I think everyone in their lifetime should at least try, do a big challenge, and have the grit to finish it through. I think that will do you good, do you more good than you can ever imagine. For me, for example, working this summer job, I knew it was going to be difficult, and I did it. I'm glad I did it. I learned a lot. You learn a lot. Fun fact, you learn a lot from challenging things. I realize that now. You learn a whole lot more by doing a really challenging thing in real life than learning it from a textbook. Now, keep in mind, I do believe in textbooks and learning general knowledge, but I also do agree that having grit to do challenging work or experiences will, in the end, bring you more joy and make you a better person and contribute to society better in a sense. Yeah, that is kind of my opinion on grit. Sorry, this is kind of a short video. I kind of slapped this together. I've been also going out for a walk today, and I just kind of came up with this idea of grit because I was listening to a podcast, the David Huberman podcast. Great podcast. I recommend it. And it was him and this guy named David Goggins, and they were talking about grit and character and strength, this and that courage, right, to do hard things. And I think that is good. I think everyone should be able to do hard things. Now, keep in mind, a hard thing for you may be an easy thing for others, or easy thing for you may be a hard thing for others. So this is my kind of point of view, is when you're going through life and you see someone struggling with something that is easy for you but it's hard for them, I say to give them advice, give them tips, be helpful. My philosophy is I'm always going to help someone that is down in the dumps or stuck in a valley, because I hope one day that if I'm stuck in a valley, I hope someone comes and pulls me out and gives me a helping hand. I'm a big believer on that and helping others selflessly. And what I mean by selflessly, for the people that don't know, is just doing it out of the kindness of your heart, lending a helping hand. Because at the end of the day, I don't want anyone to hate me. Now, that is very hard in this world today, and I can try my best, even though some people will probably somehow find a way to throw hate on this video 5 years from now, 10 years from now. To the haters, I'm dressing this early with no one watching. I ask you why? Why hate me? What did I do wrong? Did I go against your point of view? Did I say something that didn't sit right with you? And if I did, I'm sorry. I take responsibility. And please comment. Let me know about it. Because if I am wrong, factually wrong about something, I will correct myself. Or I will try to read every comment. Can't guarantee I'll read every single one. Because I feel like a lot of social media influencers, they say they're sorry, but do they mean it? And I think what big YouTubers should do is, if they get in hot water, they should apologize and explain why they thought that way and how they're going to do things differently. I'm a big believer on that, is saying sorry through your actions. All right. Good night, good evening, good afternoon. I hope everyone out there stays safe, and I hope everyone out there finds peace in their lifetime. Thank you. Goodbye.